Hey guys, welcome back to Contest Prep University. I'm Joe Klemczewski with Adam Atkinson. We are in episode 4 of Peak Week for men's bodybuilders and classic physique competitors. So we're going to talk about adjustments to Peak Week. This is all about the Peak Week process. We're deep into this now, Adam. Last episode, we talked about the different kinds of extremes where we may stay super linear without much upward movement, all the way up to, maybe having a big tailwind going in with some pretty heavy foods, red meat, fries, a lot of sodium, a lot of fat, in addition to just carbs. Let's talk about the space in the middle. A normal plan for me, for example, I've got, guys competing this weekend and next weekend, and I've been getting their peak weeks ready and working through that. And I would say, depending on their need, which is your starting point, do they still need to lose? How do they look? What's their condition? You kind of create a baseline as a coach of here's the trajectory we want for the carbs. And I always, probably underestimate a little bit to be conservative. That way I can move up a little bit at the end. Or as you were just describing your last client, he likes to stay a little bit low and then have a much larger meal Friday or Friday afternoon. And, I can't say either one of those are better than the other. It really depends on the context. So this entire topic of just adjustments of active coaching during peak week becomes incredibly important. So is there a point in time during the week where you're saying, okay, we need to make a decision now? Which way are we going to go? Like when you get to Tuesday or Wednesday or Thursday, when are your antenna going up and starting to get nervous about changes you may need to make?
Yeah, at that point in time, you have a lot of steady photos, so you can really see how somebody's looking when they're sending pics 3 times a day. When I have met the conditioning I want, and I see them maybe getting tighter, or maybe flatter, I should say, in the morning, I know I can push food up a little bit more. And this actually recently happened with me, a client. I noticed they were getting almost tighter through the day. So they were just burning through everything. Their weight was dropping the next day. This person had already met the criteria to a T. And I felt like we were losing shape because they weren't filling out at all. So we made a pretty aggressive change. I think I had added 75 grams of carbs to each one of their days after that, as just kind of a baseline. And then we actually did have to rush in to the end just a little bit. So in that scenario, I had somebody with what I like to call like a runaway metabolism. We gave them some carbs, the thermic effect of food, and their met rate picking up just didn't really allow them to get any benefit from the extra food. And obviously more of an ectomorph client, but even though I thought I was being aggressive, I still needed to be way more aggressive.
And it's just kind of a physiology lesson to competitors or coaches watching. When I use that phrase, when do you feel the most nervous during peak week? There is a point of no return, as you just described. If somebody is getting leaner and all of a sudden you think, okay, it's okay, it'll be good, they'll be fine tomorrow, and they drop again and again, you could get so deep into the week that you're either forced to do a rapid backload, which could backfire. You could go too far, or you could keep trying to add in enough each day and never catch up. And then you find yourself on Friday knowing that glycogen's not going to get assimilated quickly enough. Now there's just nothing you can do. You're going to go in a little bit smaller than you had planned. So you get into these positions where you really do have to make a final decision on the biggest changes you can make. And I have to say that this is where working with a client multiple times, even multiple years, becomes a huge benefit, because then you both have this base of knowledge. You know what to expect a little bit more physiologically with their body type. Obviously, it's always a little bit different. Even when you think you've got it figured out, the next contest, the next year, there are some changes in your own biology and the context of that dieting process. But give me an example of somebody that maybe, you wish you had just had a little bit more time, like you didn't quite get aggressive enough, or maybe you were not conservative enough, and just how you could miss something by even a tiny bit.
Mm-hmm. Well, I would say that that's happened where someone has backloaded hard with me. You're not going to assimilate all that glycogen like the next day. And I have had a client or two where on Sunday they look way better than they did Saturday. So, part of that was part of the backload from Friday that you're now seeing on Sunday. So I started thinking, well, what if I had done that Thursday, versus Friday, and, or maybe both. If you really see that change, the conditioning's still good. You probably could have been more aggressive. So you take notes on that, and as long as clients are receptive to that, and I think that's the biggest thing. We make mistakes and we have missed before, especially with newer clients. I like what you said about older clients. You just have to take notes and move forward from there. And I love it when a client and I communicate and I say, hey, I could have been more aggressive. And they're like, I think so too. And they give you that next shot to nail it. And that's how you guys really learn and grow together.
Awesome. Well, in our final episode, we're going to be talking about those contest day adjustments where you do have your last shot at making an impact. So stay tuned, guys. We'll see you next time as we wrap up this series in Contest Prep University.